want you, boy. You know what time it is, nigga. Better watch how you step in. Yeah. But that was my niggas. Yeah. A minute, yo. Yeah. That for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Look, hey, straight off the top, I love how he be fly as fuck. You know them bitches be stalking my niggas. That shit'll never change, and it's the same with all my niggas. City to city, I should be at home. That's what my ribs say. But bitch, I'm grown. I'm in these streets and closed caption. Niggas know we bout that action. If a nigga play with me, then my heart can gon' let him have it. Hey, make you the shit, this truth the shit. Nigga play, I let that Ruger hit. Get on them tracks, they be like, who is this? I'm rude with it. Ain't got no manners. All them pussy niggas talking shit. Yeah, I know they can't stand us, but we UPK, Louisiana, bitch, that's what I'm ripping. And my niggas solid number, real ones in my section. If you wanna get down, put your boots on, start stepping. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood I lay my life down right now for all my sisters and brothers, because I love them. I see them dapping and hug them. It's amazing to see how well we adapt from the struggle. Born again from a life of sin, trapped in the gutter. My mind frame was to kill my own kind. Feeling inferior, waking up ready to die. Run with them killers, so it's just a matter of time. For I take your life or let you take mine. That's when I realized the slaves killing slaves while the white man live to get old. We in them graves, and shit got me feeling played. I opened the Bible, went through them records, found out we was royalty, a nation to be respected. But in this world we rejected, we hated for our complexion. Still fighting to get accepted. We hear the truth and reject it, but love is getting corrected. And all my niggas correct me. The commandments, the foundation we erected. Brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Brotherhood is a weapon. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. If I die for my niggas, it'll be an honor and a blessing. Better watch how you stepping, cause brotherhood is a weapon. Hey, hey.
Pando, kill the beat.
I don't know who, somebody need to hear this. Y'all speak Hebrew, that's Yiddish. How the fuck you try to label us anti-Semitic? We the Israelites, blacks, native Hispanics. The Germans get locked up for the Holocaust. Meanwhile, black people still up in the Holocaust. 100 million of us died in the transatlantic. 6 million died. Y'all want the world to never forget it. You can never be a Jew. You are Ashkenaz. This ain't a star dum-dum, a gun die or die. Yeah, Yeezy told the truth and got ostracized. Not one person in the Bible had on a yarmulke. We were slaves in America like we was in Egypt. Y'all don't even fit the curses in the Torah neither. Y'all was blind to the truth. I had to make it clear how Jerusalem, your land, your people came from Europe. That was 1947. Your menorah got 9 sticks. It's really only 7. Yeah, it's us against the world. Armageddon. This what happened when you inherit lies from your ancestors. Y'all the synagogue of Satan with them black hats. Your whole nation sitting ducks, Aflacs, Bunch of thieves and culture vultures ain't nothing kosher. To tell the truth, you vagabonds don't have a culture. Macedonia, Alexander, and Philip, you a convert, so tell me, how the fuck is you Israel? That don't make you the people just cause you live there. Why my people can't hate your people like y'all hate Hitler? All the prophets was black and was called nigga. Y'all don't even fit the description that's in the scriptures. Abraham, all the way down to Jacob, we the real Jews. Y'all don't study Christ, y'all follow the Talmud. Keep it real, yeah, let's keep it real. Cold hard truth, it give you chills. Say y'all Jewish cause y'all ain't really them. About to do them like Hammond, it's the Feast of Purim. UBK undefeated, this an easy win. We was born fighting, y'all the evil twin. Jacob took hold of his heel, then out came his little red bass and they kosher deals. It's only 12 tribes, y'all trying to make it 13. Esau despised his birthright, the Lord cursed him. He ain't the devil who is, I'm still searching. Ask your rabbi, why he get them babies herpes? I don't know what's worse, that or you claiming that you a Maccabee. I'm about to cancel, everybody trying to cancel ye. I ain't afraid to speak, that's what I do. They riding to the core, I'm just judging them by their fruit. Cause they ain't suffering curses. If I was carnal, I promise I'd punch you in person. I know this uncomfortable subject. They making millions off our culture and black people suffering from it. Yeah, they don't believe in Christ. They the Antichrist. Make a living off of niggas. They're a parasite. I ain't afraid to tell the truth. Niggas terrified. I'm about to go DEFCON 4. I ain't satisfied.
That is proof. That is absolute proof that they know we are the real Jews. That's absolute proof. Now you got the records. Go find me a white Jew on any archaeology in Egypt anywhere. You will never find a piece of archaeology with white people as slaves in Egypt. So don't tell me that they were slaves and it's their identity, and they know it. And I know the blasphemy of them, but they are Jews. The Lord knows the blasphemy of you so-called white people that say you are Jews and you are not Jews. You are not the people of the law. You are not God's chosen people. God's chosen people are living in the ghettos of America. God's chosen people are in poverty, in depression, in the streets of America. God's chosen people are walking around in America with no identity. That's where God's chosen people are.
Buckroll.
Israel. Shalom, shalom, Israel. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna clap it up. We're gonna clap it up. We're gonna clap it up. We're gonna clap it up right now. We're gonna get started our Sunday evening class. And we had ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street under commanding General Yahana. I am Priest and Officer 50 Akashka, ISUPK, Bahamas. And tonight, I want to talk about, as a farmer in the Bahamas, what I want to talk about is foods. Foods. That's what I want to talk about. I think I'm going to stick to my lane. My lane is going to be, we talk about foods and why and what's happening with the foods around. I guess I'll be doing more research on foods and the different type of foods. So, I want to kick this off and just say that's where my focus will be, on different sorts of foods. Now, where are we going to get that from? Where are we going to start that from? I can tell you in a minute. Right now, where we're going to start it from. We can start all the way from Genesis. Genesis, okay. Let's see, maybe go in. Okay, let's talk about clean and unclean. Let's talk about how far the dietary laws go back. Let's see if we can talk about that. Let's see if we can confirm that. How early do you know the dietary laws was in existence? How long do you think it was God was telling us what to eat and what not to eat? How far back? How far you think it was? I know a lot of times we think it just came around, but let's see how we could find the first set of scriptures we talk about the dietary laws. Now, but even we see in Genesis, we see laws in Genesis, right? We don't really see the dietary laws. And we see a meat scripture in Genesis where it's not easy to break down if it's the first time you're listening to it. But we're going to go to Genesis. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. We're going to look at Noah. Okay. We're going to look at Noah. And I'm going to ask you the question. We're looking at Noah. I'm going to ask you the question about why is it the way it is, right? How much animals did Noah? They ask a trick question. It's a joke. They would ask you, how much animals did Moses take into the ark, right? And then you wouldn't be thinking. You would just be thinking, I wonder how much animals it was. You wouldn't even be thinking about who they talk about, who take them into the ark. So you would answer these frivolous things and say, but he didn't take any. It was Noah. That was a Sunday school joke. Okay. All right. So we're gonna read. This is Genesis chapter 7. Let me see if we start down to the end of 6. Let me see. I know it does start at 7. So let's. Okay, let's see. It starts at 6. Okay. Okay. That's when the Lord told Moses, no. God said unto Noah. Okay, let me just read the intro so you could get a little idea of what we're going into. Now I'm gonna jump right down. Of course, if I start if I start in 6, this is where, and it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them. That the sons of God took the daughters of men, that they were fair. They took up them wives, all which they choose. And the Lord God said, and my spirit shall not always strive with men, for he is also flesh. His days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also even after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bore them children of them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. And God saw the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thought of his heart was only evil continually. It repented the Lord that he had made man. Okay, so we read all that just to say. So now he goes into telling Noah to build the ark, that he's going to destroy all living on the earth, and Noah must build this ark. You tell him the length, the breadth, give him all the instructions, all the engineering requirements to build the ark. He gave it to Noah. And the Lord said unto Noah, come thou and all thy house into the ark. Of thee have I seen before me in this generation. For thee have I seen righteous before me in this generation. And of every clean beast, listen to this now, of every clean beast thou shalt take of thee by 7, a male and his females, and of the beasts that are not clean by 2s, a male and his female. Of the fowls also of the air by 7, and the male and the female to keep seed alive upon the face of all the earth. for yet 7 days, and I will cause the rain to rain upon the earth 40 days and 40 nights. For every living substance that I have made will I destroy. Okay, so we see that of every clean beast thou shalt take to these 7. So you're taking 7 clean beasts, and of the unclean you take 2. Now, not even the questioning why it's 7 and why it's 2, but the fact is there's a distinction between clean and unclean. Why? Why is there a distinction between the clean and unclean? You know why? Because the dietary laws was already in place. So Noah knew that the clean animals was the one. Why are they clean? Why are they clean? They're clean because Noah could have consumed them. He could eat them. That's why they were clean. And the same reason why he took 7 of the clean and 2 of the unclean. He didn't need as many of the unclean because he wasn't planning on eating them. So that's why he took 7 of the clean and 2 of the unclean. Okay, so all the way back then, the dietary laws was in effect. And so now, that's all I want to talk about. The stuff you're eating. What are you eating? What do we eat? Why are we eating it? Right? Why are we eating these things that we ought not to be eating? Okay. Do you know what you ought to be eating and not eating? And do you know? Well, the bottom line is, it is a commandment, right? It is a commandment that the Lord say what you should eat and what you should not eat. Now, some of the things, what you can eat, and what you should not eat. Because everything you can eat, you probably don't want to eat. But the things you should not eat, you should not eat that. Okay, that's the thing about that. You may not want to eat everything that the dietary law said that you can eat, but you should not eat anything that the dietary law say you should not eat. That's how we should be doing in Israel. And so if you're eating the things that the dietary law has told you not to eat, you're just being disobedient. That's a simple fact. You're being disobedient. Now, you can say you didn't know, but if you hear me, if you watch this and you hear me, if you didn't know prior to this, you know now. And you now become accountable. The priest and officer Kashka, I'm telling you it. Okay, so if you know that the word of the Lord coming through me to you to tell you, stay away from the unclean foods. Why? Not because it tastes bad, but because the Lord said it. That's all. If we could get it into our thick skulls, we'll be able to do miraculous things. Because if we just do it because the Lord said it, we wouldn't have to debate with ourselves and with others. Why are we not allowed to do this? Why can't we do this? This is not hurting me. I like this. Right? I like this, so I want to do this. I have the feeling for this. I want to do this. This is not a sin. I want to do this. If the Lord says not to do it, then you should not do it. As a simple fact. Okay? And why? We get to jump down into the actual dietary laws. I want to find something else too and tell you why. I'll tell you why, and before we actually jump down into the laws themselves. You know why you ought to be obedient? This is why. And I tell you right now why you should be obedient. This is why you should be obedient. In Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1, it says, "And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all of his commandments which I command thee this day, the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all the nations on the earth." That's why. That's why. Okay? That is why if the Lord tell you not to eat a certain food, you shouldn't eat it. That is why. Now, I can't tell you no easier than that. But I could point out some of the things that you ought not to be eating. But if I tell you like that, will you be obedient and follow the word of the Lord? Or will you try and find something else in the scriptures to tell you that you can't eat it? And if you do, I would like for you to make that presentation to me. That if there's something else in this Bible that tells you that you can't eat unclean food. Okay? Because there's nowhere in the Bible that says that you can eat unclean, that you should eat unclean food. You should not. And if you think it's in there, hit me up. Let's talk about it. Okay? Let's talk about it. Okay. So, this is why. What shouldn't you be eating? It was laid out for us. I mean, it laid out in the Leviticus scripture. Is it Leviticus? Let's see. Okay, we're gonna read. Let's read a little bit. Let's read a little bit of what the Lord has said that we should be, that we can eat. This is Leviticus chapter 11, and it reads thus: Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, These are the beasts which ye shall eat among all the beasts that are on the earth. Whosoever parted the hoof, and is cloven-footed, and chewed the cud among the beasts, that shall ye eat. Okay, let's talk about that. What does it mean? It means that the beast had parted the hoof. That means it's not one solid hoof. The hoof must be split. That's the first thing. It must be a hoof. First, it must be a hoof. A hoof, and the hoof must be a split hoof. Okay, not toes. Like toes, can't be toes. If it's toes, that's disqualifying. We're talking about the things that the Lord said that we should eat. So it needs to be a split hoof. And I'm reading in Leviticus chapter 11. So the split hoof, and I'm reading it, continuing on. The parted of the hoof and cloven-footed. So it needs to be, like I say, not toes, split hoof, not like a solid hoof. You know what have a solid hoof? A horse. A horse have a solid hoof. Okay? That means, but the horse chew the cud. So the horse is unclean to you. You're not supposed to eat a horse. Now, it says that the beast, so the beast that you can eat is the one that does split the hoof. It have a hoof and a split. And it also chews the cud. Okay? Now we can talk about chew the cud in a second. This shall you eat among the beasts. Part the hoof, cloven-footed, chew the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. So now we have other beasts that does not fit in that category. If the beast does not fit in that category, you should not be eating it. Simple. If it have anything like toes, like how raccoons have toes, right? And people that eat raccoons. Raccoons are unlawful. They got toes and fingers. They got fingers and toes. They're unlawful. I don't even know. I doubt they chew the cud, but just to talk about their toes, they have toes and fingers, so they actually hold things in their hands. Okay, so those things are off. They're unclean. Let me read a little more. Nevertheless, they shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divided the hoof, as a camel, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof. You see, that's the distinction. If any animal chew the cud and the hoof is not divided, then again, you disqualify them. He is unclean to you, unto you, as the corny. A corny is something like this, like I guess that's more like a rodent. I think a corny is more like a rodent. But again, they have fingers and things, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof. Let me see what the corny, before I say the wrong thing. It's a lock here. Let me take a quick look at what a coney look like. And so, oh yeah, it's a lock here. The coney is definitely a rodent. Okay, the coney is a rodent. I thought you could see it, but let me see if you can see the coney. Let me make an attempt. See how it looks, but I don't know if it's gonna work out. This mightn't be able to see it too good with the light, but that's a coney. It's a rodent. Can't see it too good. It look like a big rat. That's what it look like, with a snub nose. But that's a coney. So the coney, because he chewed the cud, but divided not the hoof, is unclean to you. And the hare, because he chewed the cud, you know the hare is a rabbit, right? So you're not supposed to be eating rabbits. Okay, not to eat a rabbit. He chewed the cud, but divided not the foot, the hoof. He's unclean. And the swine, the swine, okay? And the swine, that he divided the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he chewed not the cud. So now the swine is different from the other animals we talk about. Their foot was different, but what they're saying, the swine have the proper feet, but he chewed not the cud. And we can come back to chewing the cud and the not chewing of the cud, what that talks about. And so that's the swine. And that's Leviticus 11:7, and the swine. So he's unclean. He's unclean to us. Of the flesh ye shall not eat, and their carcass shall ye not touch. They are unclean to you. So you're really supposed to be touching the swine carcass. Okay? They shall eat of the waters. Whatsoever has fins and scales in the waters, in the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. So look at what have fins and scales. Fins and scales combination. A grunt have fins and scale. A snapper have fins and scale. A lobster have fins, no scale. Don't eat it. A conch have none of the above. A crab will probably have fins, no scale. Don't eat it. A shrimp will have a fin, no scale. Don't eat it. According to the Bible, okay, it is unclean. That's whatever in the water, whether in the sea or the river, wherever you get something from it. If it don't have a combination of fins and scales, you're not supposed to eat it. Insomuch they shall be an abomination unto you. This is let me read the whole 10th verse. And all these have not fins and scales in the waters, and in the rivers, and of all that moveth in the waters, and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. Yeah, they shall be an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever has no fins nor scales in the water, they shall be an abomination unto you. 13. And these are they which ye shall have in abomination among the fowls. they shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle, the ostrich, and the osprey, the vulture, and the kite after his kind. the raven after his kind, the owl and the nighthawk, the cockatoo and the hawk after his kind, the little owl and the cormorant and the great owl, and the swan and the pelican and the gier eagle. So these all of these birds that we're not supposed to be eating. Yet these ye may eat, even flying creeping things that goeth upon all fours, which have legs above their feet, and leap withal upon the earth. Even of these ye may eat, the locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. But all other flying creeping things which have fours shall be an abomination unto you, and of these shall ye be unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean until the even. Now, we're talking about eating the things that the Lord says. Not eating the things that the Lord say not to eat. Why? Because the Lord said it. That may not be enough for most people, but it should be. And the rationale behind that is, if we follow what the Lord say, we will be above every nation on the earth. Now, we know as a nation we didn't do that. So we actually at the bottom of all the nation on the earth now. And you may or may not know that, but we are at the bottom of every nation on the earth right now. The Blacks, Hispanic, and Native Indians. That's the group I'm talking about. We all come from one. We come from Jacob, who is Israel, so we all Israelites. That's a lesson for another time. If you got a question, put it in chat. I'll get to it. I'll answer your question. You can write it in your phone to ask a question in the chat. Okay, if you have one. Okay, but I don't know if you like the video yet. Like the video and share it so that we could get more exposure. All right, so I want to talk about the chewing of the cud. Why? Now, I can't give you the scientific reason why the chewing of the cud is important, right? But I can tell you this, that the pig, let's use the pig and a goat for two examples. The pig, let's say I use the pig. Yeah, I use the pig. The pig eats food, right? Eats food. And like I said, the pig does not chew the cud, but he has his foot cloven, right? So the foot is okay, but he doesn't chew the cud. That means he's eat the food goes in the stomach, and the food exit or his anus, right? Now a goat eat the food, and the goat actually just lay down. And when you see a goat eat, they out in the field, they eat, and then you see them laying down in the shade someplace and still chewing. What are they doing? They chewing the cud. Why are they chewing the cud? Because even though people say the goat have multiple stomach, but apparently the goat have one stomach with multiple compartments. So what happens is, as the goat eat, the goat regurgitates it, re-chew it, and then it goes back in the next compartment. I don't know all the ins and out of this compartmental, and we go in the first one and the second one, the third one, and the fourth one, or I go through one at a time. But that's the whole rationale behind that. The goat digests food better. Let me give you a real life example, because when I first started to farm, I used to use the horse manure. The horse manure is the same principle. The horse manure have the horse have one stomach, so they eat and they go through one time. Now the sheep and the goat, and also the cow, they have multiple stomachs. So I noticed when I would get the manure when I first started, I'm talking 99, 2000. Okay, that's 25 years. Yes, okay. So all the way back then, when I would get the manure from the horse stable, I found that I would have a lot of weeds growing up in the manure. And it was explained to me that the horse really don't break down all of the food that they eat, because it's the same one stomach thing. They have one stomach. They eat it, it go in their stomach, they pass it out. the cattle, which the sheep, the goat, the cow fall in multiple compartments in our stomach, so their food is properly digested. I think it goes through the system more than once, so at the end you don't have a lot of undigested seeds springing up in the manure as much like in the horse. And of course the pig is the same thing. Okay, the pig is the same thing. So the chewing of the cud means that they chewing it, they further processing it. That's it. And if you think about it, just the further processing may mean that they treat the toxins differently. Again, I'm not the scientist in this area, so my disclaimer is I'm just talking. Okay, I'm just talking. So, like I said, but the fact that they regurgitating, rechewing, and chewing the cud means that they breaking it down different than the horse. So just chew it one time and swallow it, and then send it out. The sheep and the goat send it out later. It's more of a process. Okay, now, and remember I said about the amount of animals that's going into the ark: 7 clean, 2 unclean. Why did he take 7 clean? Because they had to eat. So they had to eat the food, eat the animals in the ark, but they didn't plan to eat the animals to stop the generation of the animals. That's why they took in abundance. They took 7 clean. Okay, so we talk about, and the important thing is, in all of this food, and next thing, the foods that's being produced now, in addition to us eating the wrong foods, we also eating foods that other countries have produced in large scale production for us. So, and they pristine, mind you. You get a sweet pepper, your 2 hands can't conceal the sweet pepper. So large, you can't hide the sweet pepper in your hand. Come from elsewhere. But bear in mind, I want you to understand this. We still on foods now. Bear in mind, these people would send these things to our island for us to eat. They have very large acreage. They use machines to spray their crops. Some of them use the airplane. Some use drones. That's the size they have. And what they spraying with? They spraying with pesticides. They spraying with bug killer. They spraying with insect killer, because that's the only way that the food is going to look pristine, and they get it for the best price, right? Now, as a farmer, I stay away from herbicide, which is a weed killer, pesticides, which can kill your pests, or insecticide, which kill the insect, which is the same thing. Insecticide and pesticide, it just kills the little small insect on your plant. Mind you, you need to do, if you need them, you need to find an organic one. But sometimes crop rotation is probably the best thing to do. And plant health, it's a lot here. Plant health is another thing. You make your plants as healthy as you can get them. And when you do that, you have less problems with any insect or anything like that. Make your plants as healthy as you could get them. How do you make your plants as healthy as you could get them? You provide this is a science. This is not an art. Okay? This is a science. Your food growing is not an art. Your food growing is not a hit and a miss. Your food growing is right there. If you just follow the simple instructions, you will have good success. But if you don't, if you think, oh, I don't have a green thumb, there's no such thing as a green thumb. The person who have a green thumb, somebody convinced them that their thumb was green, and you know what they did? They went outside every day and they take care of that plant. The person who don't think they have a green thumb, what you know they do? They just put the plant there one day and come back 3 months later and check on the plant. That's the person. That's the only difference. The green thumb is the person who's go there and check the plant every day. The person who don't have the green thumb is the person who's put their plant there, come back in a month, 90 days, 60 days to check on the plant. And at that time, they probably can't find the plant. The plant has died and better do it. Okay. So that's the difference. This is a science, not an art. You could produce your own food. Now, is it Is it economically sound? In most cases, it's not. Why you say that? You think about it. They're selling you a cabbage in the food stuff for $5. You know what it costs you to grow a cabbage? Think about it. What it costs you to grow a cabbage? It costs you more than $5 to grow a cabbage. The issue with that is you have to grow enough product to make it feasible, financially feasible. There's a number of products you have to grow. You can't grow for your house and be in the green. You can grow for your house, but you can be in the red. Because it's almost as easy to grow 100 cabbages as it is to grow one. Oh, this must be sleep because I definitely am not hungry. Yes, I've been going a while. Okay, so like I said, grow your own stuff. Why? They're sending us poisons. They're sending pesticides, herbicide, and the food to be. Why do we want to follow the scriptures? Because we read it. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. If we follow and do everything that the Lord say do, He's going to have us on high above every nation on the earth. Chewing the cud, the animals that chew the cud, they're clean animals. Chew the cud and go and foot it, split. All right? They're clean animals. The ones that are not, you're not supposed to eat them. Now, you're going to have a challenge in your own mind whether you eat them or not. But if just be obedient to the Lord, not to me. Go and read Deuteronomy 28. Go and read Deuteronomy 27 and 1. Read those scriptures. Follow them. If you follow what the scriptures say, you will have good success. We'll have good success. Israel needs to follow as a group, because when Israel follows as a group, that's when the Lord is going to return. I know people don't know it. Some don't believe it. Some have different ideas about it. Okay? Now, before we get out of here, still want to read a couple of extra scriptures. And sometimes I do touch on this a lot. Because the whole idea is why you feel comfortable in doing what you're doing is because the church has taught you that it's okay for you that the laws are done away with. That's what the Christian church has taught you, that the laws are done away with. But Christ didn't say that. The laws are not done away with. So if the laws are not done away with, we should be keeping the laws and all the laws, including the dietary one. So if that's the case, then we should be keeping the dietary laws. And if that's the case, then we should not be eating crab, shrimp, lobster, and pork. And remember now, I told you, these things taste good. You season them properly, they taste good. But will you be obedient to the Lord and just follow His instructions? I'm not 100% sure, why He selected what He selected. But I'm not prepared to question Him either to the point where I don't do it. I'm not prepared to question to the point where I don't do it. I'm prepared to follow on to know as I follow, I'll know. Okay? Now, and we must follow what the scriptures say. There's no way around it. I know people that tell us that there are ways around it, but I'm gonna tell you that there's no way around it. We must follow what the scriptures say. This tells you that. This tells you need to follow what the scriptures say. Okay, we talk about the foods. We talk about the animals, how they would chew the cud, and they would get a better breakdown of the food. We talk about the clean and unclean meats, and how far it go all the way back. Because some say, oh, if Noah know that the meat was clean and unclean, what was it clean and unclean for? It was clean and unclean to be eaten. Now Christ said in Matthew chapter 5 and verse 17, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy the law or the destroy, but to fulfill. Okay? So Christ said, don't even think that I come to destroy the law. But if somebody tell you the law has been done away with, you're going to eat all of these things. You can eat whatever you want. And what you want could be the wrong thing. Why as a society, we have hypertension, diabetes. Those are lifestyle plagues. Those are lifestyle plagues. And sometimes when you get them, you can't get rid of them. Your lifestyle or your parents' lifestyle could probably start you on that direction, cause you to be susceptible. And then as you grow, you become not only susceptible, but you end up with it. You have it, and then, there's no getting away, around, or from it. Because once you have it, that's when the problem starts. And if you have a combination, hypertension and diabetes is even worse. So Christ didn't do away with the law, so we must follow the law. The law says that we're not supposed to eat crab, shrimp, lobster, and swine, then we shouldn't eat it. Shouldn't tempt the Lord. And these are challenges we definitely have in homes. People tempting the Lord. But nevertheless, we could bring it to you, we could tell it to you, but you will have to be the person who says, okay, I don't want it. And with that, I can keep this one short. I've gone through the material that I've collected so far. And so I can clip it right there for the night. And then we'll be back on Lord Allow. We're trying to shift into Wednesday evening. We're trying to shift into Wednesday at 7 o'clock. The Lord allows we'll be back on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock. So with that being said, Shalom. I'll read the security announcements. We at ISUPK started at 1 West 125th Street under Commanding General Yahama. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limit. They're here to shed themselves off of the world. So for the first 6 months, the second 6 months, if you have an interest in this brother or sister, then you could come to the camp leader, have a conversation with him, then you get permission to hang out, to date. And then if you all still have strong feelings to one another after that time, after the investigation, plan to marry, then you can get married after another 6 months. All right? That's how that works. Tithe, which is a commandment. You could find this in Numbers 21, 18 and 21, or Malachi 3, 8 through 10. It means tenth in the Hebrew, and it's pronounced by Asherah. 10% of every penny of any increase that the Lord give you, give to the Treasury Department or teacher, the priest fund. Free will offering for priests is not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give, you can give. Upcoming Holy Convocation, the Passover is here. Okay, so we got a few more days out before we all have to meet in Atlanta and have a great time. So the first activity starts on the 9th, the lamb slaughter. Okay, and activities all the way up until the Passover. And after the Passover is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and this is the 8th. But actually, I'm getting into Atlanta on the 8th. The Lord allows, and the past and everything starts on the 9th. So we get the 8th, the 9th, at least the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th is the actual Passover on a Saturday. The 13th is the Feast of Unleavened Bread, and that's where we will be. ISUPK will be in Atlanta celebrating the feast, and I'll be with my brothers. We'll be hanging out. We'll be having a good time. So this is remind Akim and Akbadian about the social media. You can join isupk.com for any material or information. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he must start wearing all black, which include black boots, shirt, pants, headbands, or scarf. And with that, be clipping for the night. So Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai Barakatah to the brothers. Yahweh Shema Alatam by Shem Yahweh Shai. Join me live on Wednesday at 7 and at Sunday on 7. Shalom. Shalom, Israel.